What's up?
Say something.
Something?
That's good. Hello, we're back. Today, it's just my buddy Alec here, because everyone else is a fucking scrub and couldn't make it. So, it's just a one-on-one. But seeing how we're both fucking gamers and we're nerds about it, what, for the year of 2016, what do you think was the best game? Or what were some of the best?
Oh, that came out?
In 2016.
Okay, well, 2016 was a game that I felt like was kind of, the year though, I felt like was kind of lacking comparatively to like 2015.
Okay,
But
2015 came out for a lot?
Huh?
2015 came out for
Oh yeah, like a lot of the big name ones that people still play today. I don't know. Most of the ones that I've really experienced from 2016 were a lot of indie games more so than the AAA titles. But I'd say from 2016, out of the ones I've experienced, I haven't really experienced a lot. The one that I've been playing a lot was Infinite Warfare. I know everybody's like, "Oh no, the Infinite Warfare new one," but I mean, I haven't really bought a lot of the new ones. Most of the games that I have or play consistently are from before then.
Yeah, like, cause I remember when like the Infinite Warfare trailer came out on YouTube from
it was very disliked
from like their page, and it was like 1 million. It's like the most disliked video on YouTube now.
Yeah,
like, that's like so mean, but that's so appropriate.
Well, yeah, basically because everyone was upset that they were just continuing on the futuristic style and the movement system, but I was surprised in how good it was. Because at first I was like, oh, I mean, I'll guess I'll just rent it and see if it's any good. So that's what I ended up doing. I ended up renting it as soon as it came out. And I started playing. I'm like, this multiplayer is solid. And the zombies I digged into very nicely with the whole new aesthetic 80s theme park. More so than like what it was before.
For me, because my thing for Call of Duty was because I started off with World at War, and then I moved up like from game to game as they started to come out. And they, like, the franchise kind of lost me at somewhere between Ghost and Advanced Warfare. Because I remember when...
Between Ghost and Advanced or Ghost and Infinite?
Was it Advanced Ghost Infinite? Or was it...
It was Ghost Advanced, Black Ops 3, Infinite.
Yeah.
So,
okay, yeah.
So it was between Ghost and Infinite.
Because, like, Ghost was the last boots on the ground. That's where, like, I drew the line. But, like, a lot of people didn't like Ghost either. Not as much as Infinite Warfare, but... Not a lot of people like Ghost anyways because it was just bad gameplay, shitty hit markers, and unnecessarily large maps. So
they also needed to balance out some of the guns because some of them were definitely overused and overpowered, which I mean still is an issue today, but to the less extreme of what it was.
Yeah, but like
in Ghost,
because I remember when Advanced Warfare came out.
Yeah,
I thought it looked kind of cool, and I started playing it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I was like, this is kind of neat, but I can see this definitely going somewhere like unnecessary. So then when Black Ops 3 came out, which I didn't actually think they were going to come out with the Black Ops 3. I thought that story was done. So when they came out with Black Ops 3, it was like, oh great, we're going further again. Yeah,
they're definitely milking the Black Ops franchise, but. I have to give them credit. I did like the zombies mode. The multiplayer felt like a repetition of Advanced, yet it wasn't... I liked the running in the walls system. That was really neat. That Advanced was lacking. I just liked the sudden, like, you can dodge. I like that movement in Advanced. And the guns, I preferred in Advanced over Black Ops 3, because Black Ops 3 felt like a lot of weird, futuristic... It was... pushing more towards futuristic than Advanced was. Advanced was still like kind of modern still, but they just added exosuits. Plus, I like the whole, because before the supply drop thing blew out of proportion, it originally was pretty cool. Like, you could have different versions of guns that would have drawbacks and bonuses. You can get different versions. They would look differently. I thought that was cool. I liked it a lot. And plus, supply drops you would get, they were random. You don't buy them with certain points. You just got them. I mean, you could buy them with money, but you didn't have to play a bunch of games, get enough keys or whatever it was, and then you spend them on these. No, you would just randomly get one, and I think it was every 10 levels you got one too. But I liked that a lot originally, and then more of the games, like in Black Ops 3, I didn't really like it, and in Infinite, it's okay. I mean, it's less of a thing you need to worry about in Infinite than in Black Ops 3, because you get all the guns in Infinite, and the bonus, like the other versions you get in Infinite, just have like minor perks.
Yeah.
That it's like, I don't really need this. I mean, it's just like, oh, you get a certain amount of kills, you get a nuke, or a random perk. It's nothing like in Black Ops, where you can get a whole new gun, but you had to get it through the supply drop. Like, people will be running around with the new Peacekeeper, but you couldn't get it unless you got it through the supply drop, and that was, I think, during the whole time I played, I never got a single weapon out of there besides one of the melee. So I was like, I'm not a fan. So I just stopped playing Black Ops 3 multiplayer, but Infinite definitely was fast-paced enough to keep me interested, despite its still use of the supply drops in a way. But I'd say Advanced, the zombies was definitely, it was terrible. It just felt like
I tried the Advanced version zombies. It's fucking trash.
And like the survival mode originally, I thought that was pretty cool. They could have tweaked it a little bit, made it more like the Modern Warfare 3 version. I love Modern Warfare 3 survival. Oh, it was so much fun. If they would have tweaked it more towards that, I would have been like, yes. And then if they would have just added and just keep adding the maps, but they tried doing zombies. And the problem with the zombies is all of the maps were almost the same, and there was no like special things per map. It was just the same thing over and over and over again. You would just have different mini bosses and maybe one more weapon. But Black Ops 3 zombies, that I really liked a lot. They revamped the original 4 characters, which I thought they did an interesting twist on it. Kind of.
That was really interesting, because I thought everything would have ended after Origins Black Ops 2. So when I saw that they were bringing everything back, that's probably one of the only reasons that I ever decided to try Black Ops 3, which I also got it for free on my original Xbox One, so it's not like I cared. So I got a lucky deal.
Yeah, the season pass I think was worth it in Black Ops 3 just solely on the zombies, and that's what it is lately. Like, you're not going to get the season pass with the multiplayer maps. Those are kind of just a side note. Most people focus mainly on the zombies map. In Black Ops 3, I kind of liked how they explained what those little figures and those kids were. In the end, it was the scientist, I don't remember his name.
Monty?
It wasn't...
We're talking about...
It was Richtofen's... But there's a small little gap in the story, though. If you compare Black Ops...
Are you talking about Dr. Maxis?
Yeah, Maxis. Isn't that Maxis?
Yeah.
That you find in the very last zombie map?
Yeah.
There's a kind of gap, because I remember in Black Ops 1 Zombies, there was... You read the very first map, they talked about how there's that dog, and Richtofen locked Maxis and his daughter in there, and that's who Sam is. Is Maxis' daughter. And it's still kind of confusing. Like, I still don't understand what the daughter has to do. Like, what Sam in Black Ops 1 has to do with the rest of the story. It's kind of like she was like the main bad guy but then you have these like side cues on Richtofen and Maxis, and they kind of elaborated a little bit more in Black Ops 2, but then Black Ops 3 they just did some weird stuff, and you're just like, it focused solely on that orb, but you still had no clue like what Sam had to do with anything.
No.
It's just like she was the bad character in the Black Ops 1 series, and it was Maxis' daughter, but other than that...
Because for the Black Ops 3 zombies, since like they were all the younger versions of themselves, and they're going like skipping all over like time, space, or whatnot. Like Sam didn't have any relevance at that point, just because she didn't. Maxis was still alive, and at that point Richtofen was I guess technically still a good guy, like more of an anti-hero if anything.
And that was the same with Richtofen. At that time, before Richtofen went insane, he was still a good person because I remember in Origins, that's when they went to the younger selves. He was like a good guy. He was trying to figure out what was going on. And then when the Black Ops 3, they found their like older selves and they killed them. Because I remember in the beginning of the Giant, the little mini bonus map.
Yeah.
In the cutscene, Richtofen kills his older self. His older self's like, oh yeah, and boom. And then all of that freaks out. But it's just... the plot line's all over the place because originally it kind of made sense if you section it off into pieces. If you have Black Ops 1 storyline, Black Ops 2 storyline, Black Ops 3, they make sense on their own. But once you start mashing them together, you're just like there's like loopholes here and there, and you're like
I remember sometime in Black Ops, because after each of the Black Ops games came out and all the final zombie DLCs were done, I would always go back re-follow everything, especially after World at War, because I thought that was just kind of cool. But when they started doing a legitimate storyline, I was like, fuck, okay, what's happening? So I remember sitting down after the final Black Ops 3 DLC came out and just going back over the story from the very beginning from World at War, just running through the whole damn thing, because I was lost so many times.
yeah.
Because I remember Black Ops 1, everything was rather coherent.
You knew what was going on.
And then when Black Ops 2 came out, we had a whole new cast.
Yeah, they didn't last very long though.
Yeah, I was just who are these people? This is so unnecessary. It was like, oh no, they're still linked. I'm like, okay, sure, they're still linked. That makes no sense how they are, but okay, we'll roll with it. And then the Origins map came out. I was like, oh, okay, so that's kind of cool.
Just and now we're back to the old characters.
Yeah, and then we're back to the old characters again. I was like, wait, what?
You still don't know what happened to the new cast in Black Ops 2.
No.
It stopped at Buried. Yeah. I mean,
Buried was insane.
I am a fan. Black Ops 2 probably, those maps are probably my favorite.
Those maps were killer.
Mob of the Dead.
Those maps were...
Mob of the Dead was like a random map. It was not tied to the story at all.
No.
It was its own little thing. Don't get me wrong, that was probably my favorite map. Just how it had new characters.
Really cool. I liked it.
The whole concept of you powered up each spot to access things, and I like the weapons. They had the Thompson, they had the Uzi, which that was my thing.
The fucking Blundergat.
The AK-47. Yeah. They had the Gatling gun. Yeah, it was definitely a solid map. It was a little bit of a clusterfuck though.
Yeah, because it was it was easy to get lost.
Yeah, I mean, although I do think it was cool how they added a tomahawk. That was
neat. When
that was my favorite.
I got excited.
I would run around in the cafeteria with the zombie shield on my back and just use the tomahawk, charge it up fully, throw it at a group of zombies, run around that little circle, and then we could just rack up points. But my brother told me that you can actually upgrade it. I did it once, but I barely got to use it. But apparently it can one-shot up to around 31.
Yeah.
Which is pretty high, but if you're shooting for the 50s, I think it's up until 31's one shot, but anything after that, it's 2.
Yeah.
So, I think, but even then, that's not that bad.
I never got to those high rounds ever.
In any zombie map? So what's your highest you've ever made it in any zombie map?
Okay, so the highest was probably on Knocked Down to One, the very first one that ever came out. I got to 54.
Damn, I'd say it's probably... I can't exactly recall, but I think the highest was... I don't think it's the original version. I think it's the Black Ops 1 version of Doris.
Yeah.
I made it, I believe, to 40. Not 100% sure. But usually I'd say my average is like mid to late 20s. Although Infinite Warfare, it's really hard to get high.
That's what I've seen.
On the Zombies in Spaceland map, the highest I made it, I believe, was 27 with my friend. I mean, that's pretty high in the scheme of Infinite, but in the scheme of zombies in general, that's not. It's just it gets crazy. Like it's hard. But and then the new map, Brave in the Redwoods.
Which one's your Wi-Fi?
Raven though, Redwoods. That one's extremely hard based on the fact that there's so many close quarters that you kind of have to run around the entire map, and that's kind of hard because there's so many different ways you can go, and then you also have to take in consideration ammo, and then they have those little Sasquatch things that attack you. Sometimes I don't know. I really do enjoy the map though. It's just it's very difficult, and I've been kind of trying to. Okay, you're connected. I've been trying to find people to play with, but I've been just so consumed lately with college life.
Because college life is the only life that you need. See, like, I haven't seen any gameplay of the Raven of the Redwoods map yet. I think that's mostly because, like, don't get me wrong, I'm subscribed to a lot of YouTubers who do a lot of Call of Duty, like Alec and Mr. Raffle Waffles and them. Mm-hmm. But, like, that's not something that I want to watch anymore. Like, watch these guys, like, try to do Easter eggs on these zombie maps. Right. Because it just, at this point, it's just gotten boring to me.
Yeah, I was never, like, I didn't watch any videos on it because I was kind of conserving it for me to experience solely because I'm a fan of the creativeness that they've been definitely exerting into the Zombies map in Infinite. I'm like, yes, I'm not going to expose. I kind of knew that they'd be very creative with their maps because of, like, the original map, Zombies in Spaceland. That's a whole new idea. But I kind of predicted they would do something like this because if you play, I think it's in both maps, once you go down, you go to this afterlife mode, and there are movie posters. And you can kind of tell, like, where they could be going. I have a prediction that they might be going to a school. I don't know, but because you definitely saw Zombies in Spaceland. There was something about, I think, a wooded slasher one. They've kind of been, this one was definitely tied around the 90s, though. I don't know if they're going to go 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s.
That'd be interesting.
And then maybe 2020s in the near future. Like, do a little bit of futuristic on that. I'm not quite certain because I don't quite recall where the time place. I think it was 2016 is, like, the time when those actors in the, like, original cutscenes from the first map. Mm-hmm. But I'm definitely interested in seeing where they're going with it. They might go back to the 80s. They might stay in the 90s. But yeah, I mean, I'm liking the aesthetic so far. I'm just wondering what they would do for the 2000s though, because like, 90s was definitely like horror. They had the slasher movies and stuff like that. In the
2000s was like your that'd be like, I think that's Scream.
Yeah, but I don't know if they'd go back to horror. I think they're gonna do, because the first map was a space park. That's not really horror. I mean, I'm not. It's weird because they could literally go anywhere with it. And I guess that's kind of like it's getting people to theorize what they could do next with it because you literally have no clue.
Like, I just feel like because I remember getting the Resurrection DLC for Black Ops 1, which had the 4 original maps and then Moon. Yeah. And then just Moon itself, because I remember trying to grind for that Easter egg for forever, and I never actually got it.
Yeah, I didn't either. It's ridiculous.
It was so hard, dude. Because we would always be trying to find some, like, I was always trying to queue up with someone who'd already done the Shangri-La and Call of the Dead, which was impossible. So I ended up just never completing it, and then once the Black Ops 2 thing ended, I was like, Jesus Christ, those maps were just fucking nuts. So with the Black Ops 3 maps, I was like, there's just an obnoxious amount of just shit going on that I cannot keep up with. So I kind of just stopped following and playing the zombies. And I think it was mostly because to me it just got overly complicated. I didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
So I ended up just not playing Call of Duty ever again.
Well, with the Infinite Warfare ones, I've seen it's not very complicated. It's definitely been more simplistic. I mean, there's like parts and stuff you have to get, but most of it's just like extra. Like in Diamond Spaceland, there's a lot of different weapons you can do, but it's just I don't feel like the Easter eggs are as intense as something like Moon. But Black Ops 3 Easter eggs, I think I did try to do the map with the vines and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I really enjoyed that map because I enjoyed the special weapon. So in there you had the skull weapon, which recharged from killing zombies, but one of it would they would stop and the other one would actually kill them. That was really cool weapon. And then you had the craftable one, and you could upgrade that. And that one was really good too because you can charge it up. You can create a splash effect area, or you can hit a specific zombie. But I thought it was pretty cool. But I mean, some of the stuff was hard to do. You had to find all the parts. You had to kill a Spider Queen, stuff like that.
And I just don't want to deal with that. That's just too much for me.
I think Black Ops 2 Origins was worse. That had so much shit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Black Ops 2 had a lot. Mob of the Dead had a lot of Easter egg stuff.
Oh yeah.
Buried did not though. Buried was very dry when it came to that. Buried
was just
simplistic.
But Buried, the thing that made Buried hard for me was the fact that everything was so crammed and cluttered.
Yeah, I was definitely a fan of running around in the fountain area and the main.
Yeah.
I ran around that and I used. Some people would camp at the Pack-a-Punch, but I would camp at Jug, that little hallway there. I liked using the AN-94, and I did that weapon that could use you to jump over things.
Yeah.
That was really good, upgraded. And I did the time machine bombs.
I know what you're talking about.
Those were great, especially if you're playing with one person.
Oh yeah.
Because if that one person, if you're playing with 4, one would have it, place it, and every time they would get max ammo, they would place a new one. And you would just, if everybody went down, except for them, they could just hit it and you would just go back in time. I thought that was a really cool concept. Definitely, I feel like Black Ops 2 came out with a lot of cool ideas for weapons and gadgets. Because you also had that revolver that was pretty cool. And then you had the Mark II ray gun. That they kind of placed into all the maps afterwards. And then Origins, you had the new starting pistol. It had the same damage ratio. It's just at a different look. I thought that was cool. It was more appropriate to the time period.
Right.
And it was a German pistol because you're in German land. You're in Germany.
Okay, so for 2017, some of the games that have already come out that have kind of been, kind of outstanding or out there already. You have Ghost Recon Wildlands. That's come out. Resident Evil Biohazard, that got a lot of attention. Hitman got a lot of attention. A few others. I'm just running through a long list. Let's see. Fallout Shelter. Sniper Elite 4. For Honor. Halo Wars 2. Go Away. Halo Wars. There's some other shit. I think for this year though, I'm excited to see what the new Call of Duty does. But they'll fucking worry about it later.
Really?
I want to see what they do with the World War II thing, because I have no problem with World War II. I just think it's weird that they're going back. But our games that are coming out would be Mass Effect Andromeda.
That's out now.
Yeah, that's out now, technically speaking. Halo Wars 2, that's out. Red Dead Redemption 2. I am super, super excited for Red Dead Redemption 2, because me, like a lot of my friends who've played it, we've been waiting forever.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Oh my god, it's been a day and a half. Let's see. There's also Prey. I don't know if that's
Prey?
a reboot or a continuation.
It's a complete. I have the Game Informer. I did a reading on it. Prey is going to be. It's the same name because the developers love the name of the original one. They were going to come out with a second, but they just felt like they didn't want to make a second one when it was just going to be them trying to make a second one just because.
Yeah.
So instead, is what they're doing. Did it? No, I didn't say it.
Fucking dies just because the battery dies so fast.
So they are doing a whole new.
I just fell asleep.
They did a whole new take on the concept of the game. It's not a continuation story. They just love the name so much. So they're like, we're just gonna create a whole new game. We're just gonna use the same name. And so far, I've seen it could be compared a lot to Alien Isolation. Like you're on a ship and there's aliens, except for the aliens are way different. They can shapeshift, turn into different stuff, infect humans, become humans. And it feels like it's going to be more combat involving than Alien Isolation was very story craft. It's more of like a survival game in a way. But this game feels like it's definitely combat. There's like cool moves. There's like a level up system. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Like I'm kind of excited because when I saw that it was coming out again, I was really curious because I didn't think that they were doing a continuation. So when they came out with gameplay video or just gameplay footage of it, it looks very, very clean.
The graphics are very nice. It's very smooth.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to see what they do with that. They also have Crackdown 3.
Yeah, that game has been trying to be pushed out for a while now.
Oh yeah, Ukulele. Okay, I don't know. Injustice 2.
It doesn't look too bad. I haven't played the first one though.
Yeah. The Fractured Butthole South Park game. That's gonna be a killer. It's gonna be great. Sniper 3, Sniper Elite 4, Marvel vs. Capcom. There's just an assload of others, but I think. Cause I remember for me, my game for 2016 would probably be Overwatch or Battlefield 1. And then, except like, this year, I imagine it's going to be underwhelming because the big, like, Ubisoft isn't coming out with anything too massive besides Ghost Recon. And even then, that kind of got a rough start.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have Treyarch. Who's doing Call of Duty this year?
Hammer Games.
The Hammer Games, I thought so. So they're going to have to take care of that. Blizzard's not doing anything.
They should come out with another Diablo. They should. Blizzard should.
That's gonna take a while to come out with.
Yeah, but it would be amazing.
Yeah. EA's not really doing anything besides sports games anymore.
Yeah.
Battlefield. Oh yeah, the Battlefield DLCs.
And technically, Mass Effect is an EA published game.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. I mean, I do know that the Destiny 2 reveal is supposed to come out very soon. I've already seen a couple like mini teasers, trailer type things that don't show anything yet, but that I'm pretty stoked for because Destiny originally was a letdown. They pumped out like 5 DLCs, and you're like, "Oh, this is actually pretty good."
Destiny got a lot of hype, and everybody just got really upset about the DLCs because they said it sucked.
Man, the DLCs, the third one, really revamped. It changed the whole level up system, so you can go up to 40, and then even then, it's still 40. You just had your light. I definitely think that was the better way to go. Everything just became more simplistic. It wasn't complicated. You're like, whoa, is all this shit? And it's still kind of grindy, but not even close as bad as it was. It was really grindy. But I'm stoked on what they're going to do differently with the second one. I'm kind of hoping they just do levels. Like, they just completely eliminate the whole, like, concept.
Yeah.
Or they might do they could do factions. I mean, they did have a little bit of factions in the first one, but they could do more so on that. Hopefully they add more types of weapons, more looks of weapons, add more species that you can choose from, more customization, maybe more classes you can choose from instead of the 3. I'm definitely excited to see where it takes.
This is gonna take them a while to finally like balance out and perfect Destiny. It's just so big. There's just so much that they
but I feel like they've been working on Destiny 2 for a while now.
Yeah.
So it might come out later this year.
Yeah, but
or
I think
early next.
For 2017, the game of the year is going to Red Dead Redemption 2 because Rockstar's had a lot of time to work on this, and from the teasers that I've seen, it looks good. The graphics aesthetically look great.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that they carry on with this story well. But I think that's all the time I'm gonna have for right now. We just hit our time limit.
Okay.
You can go ahead and fuck off.